Okay, so as we talk about irrigation system design and installation, we need to know two things for our irrigation systems: the PSI and the gallons per minute of our water source. So we're at my house here in Philomath. We're at the tap, and the first thing we're going to do is measure the PSI. So I have a pressure gauge here. You'll see it says 0, and we're going to put it on the hose faucet here and turn on the faucet and see what happens to see what our pressure is at my house. So it starts out as 0. We turn the faucet on, and you see it goes up to, it's kind of right in around 85, almost 90 psi. Okay, so that's our PSI. So I'm going to turn this off. We're going to take that off. Okay, and really quickly, the reason we need to know the PSI is, for instance, if we do drip irrigation work with stuff like this, it's going to have compression coupling that slips on, and the PSI needs to be reduced down to about 20 PSI, or the pressure will break the fittings apart and the lines will shoot off and the irrigation system won't stay intact. So that's why we need to know our pressure. So for this instance, if I'm going to use drip irrigation, I have to have a pressure reducer on here when I go to my drip system. Okay? So the next thing we're going to talk about is the gallons per minute. We should know how much water is coming out of our house as well. So to do this, we're going to do a bucket test. I'm going to turn the faucet on full speed. I'm going to take the 5-gallon bucket. I'm going to put it underneath the faucet, and I'm going to time how long it takes to fill up the faucet with water. Okay? So I'll get my timer ready. I'm going to turn the faucet on, put the bucket in, start the timer, and time it. So, here we go. Okay, so we got 22 seconds there. It took the faucet 22 seconds to fill up our 5-gallon bucket. So when we're trying to figure out our gallons per minute now, we're going to take the 5-gallon bucket. We're going to divide it by the 22 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to multiply that by 60 seconds to determine how many gallons per minute we had. So if I take my calculator here on my phone, I do 5 divided by 22 equals 0.227. I multiply that by 60. I get 13.6 gallons per minute. Okay, 13.6 gallons per minute. Okay, so now the reason that's important is if I put in these irrigation heads and they all require 3 gallons per minute, I can do 4 irrigation heads at a time. Okay, so that's 3 gallons for the first head, another 3, which is 6 for the second head, another 3, that's 9, and another 3 is 12. So 4 irrigation heads. If I try to do 5 irrigation heads, I go over the 13 gallons per minute that we came up with. Okay? So that's why we need to know how many gallons per minute our irrigation is producing. So that's all I have for now on PSI and gallons per minute. I will talk to you again soon.